A lobby group representing Kiwis affected by the government's managed isolation system has won a major legal battle.
The High Court found while border restrictions were overall justified to protect the population from COVID, the system could have been better. Political reporter Amelia Wade explains.
Managed isolation, the COVID barricade of Fortress New Zealand, something Kurt Lendorf battled this year to see his dying dad.
I could see that Dad's time had gone from years to months, from months into weeks, and then from weeks into days, and I didn't have days left.
Kurt's emergency application was initially declined. Then, when he got into MIQ, he starved himself for 66 hours to get out.
I think the hunger strike was almost secondary to the hurt that I wasn't able to be by his side, and also what he was going through at the time.
Today, vindication for those like Kurt. Grounded Kiwis took the government to court over MIQ, and they won, sort of.
We took this case knowing that the limits that were imposed on citizens to be able to come home was morally wrong, and now we know that it was also legally wrong.
In a lengthy and complex 140-page decision, the judge found the travel restrictions were in essence a medical decision to protect the health of New Zealanders. But a lottery for the majority of places was not appropriate, and other reasonable alternatives should have been pursued. And the system didn't allow for individual circumstances to be considered and prioritised. So was an unjustified limit on the right of New Zealand citizens to enter their country.
It was a default of no, and that default of no really took away time from me.
Justice Malone also found that group bookings, like for sports teams, were justified for their social and economic benefits, and rejected testing and home isolation were reasonable substitutes to MIQ.
And there's a few, bits and pieces either way.
COVID-19 Response Minister Chris Hipkins is still considering the decision, but said in a statement MIQ was always the least worst option to help keep COVID-19 from entering and spreading. But we acknowledge that for some citizens, the virtual lobby may have infringed on their right to enter New Zealand.
I really think a lot of people like myself and others in my situation deserve an apology.
In the meantime, success in court will have to do.
Well, kia ora, Amelia. So what's next for this court case?
Yeah, well, whether this goes any further, it's now up to each individual Kiwi who battled the system. Grounded Kiwis never wanted any money or damages, just an acknowledgement that parts of the system were unjustified, which they've mostly got today with this decision finding that the government could have tried harder. And then it's one thing for the COVID-19 Response Minister to acknowledge they could have done better when a lot of those who were locked out unfairly just want to hear one word, sorry.
Political reporter Amelia Wade, Tinakwe.